Many of us are born with the wanderlust to travel the whole world, but no matter how adventurous you are, there are some places that are just too dangerous to visit. So let's look at 10 places in the world that are too dangerous to travel to. Number 10. Aokigahara Forest. Located at the base of Mount Fuji in Japan is this woodland known as Suicide Forest. In the last 50 years, more than 500 people have taken their lives there. Not only will you find nooses, broken bones, and corpses here, but also messages like, "Life is a precious gift, please reconsider." What's worse is that you'd think people would refrain from entering such a place, but nope, the forest is very popular among scavengers who go there to loot the dead bodies. Now, bad reputation aside, this is no place for a leisurely stroll. The forest trees organically twist and turn, their roots winding across the forest floor in treacherous threads. Because of its location at the base of a mountain, the ground is uneven, rocky, and perforated with hundreds of caves. But more jarring than its tricky terrain is the feeling of isolation created from the stillness. The trees are too tightly packed for winds to whip through, and the wildlife is rare. Number 9. Hashima Island. Another location out of Japan, Hashima Island is an uninhabited island located just 15 miles out of Nagasaki and is an undisturbed ghost town. During World War II, it was used as a forced labor camp and then was turned into a coal mining facility soon after. After that, the island was shut down and all the buildings and structures have been left untouched for the past 30 years. The scenery looks like something straight out of a post-apocalyptic movie with abandoned buildings and wild foliage just growing everywhere. Only 10% of the island is ever open to the public and is only accessible 165 days of the year due to harsh weather conditions. Local legend has it that the real reason the government has the island closed down is because the ghosts of the prisoners of the labor camps haunt the island to this day. Many even attribute ship disappearances and other fatalities to the island's legend as well. Number 8. The Danakil Desert. Located in northeast Ethiopia, the Danakil Desert is one of the most rugged spots on Earth. The miles-long landscape has it all, from baking temperatures that often top 120 degrees Fahrenheit to numerous active volcanoes to geysers that spit toxic gases. It's hard to imagine a more brutal landscape than Africa's Danakil Desert. Most people would probably consider this terrible place a literal hell on earth, but it still attracts lots of brave adventurers from all around the world. Just keep in mind that visiting the Danakil Desert on your own without an experienced guide is strictly forbidden. There are not one, but 2 active volcanoes in the desert. Both of them have several crater lakes of lava bubbling from the Earth's mantle. And additionally, the water that the area contains are springs of hot sulfur. Safe to say, not the easiest of hikes. Number 7. Snake Island. Snakes generally scare the life out of most of us, and imagine an entire island full of them, hidden somewhere off the coast of Brazil. This island is widely recognized as the most dangerous place on the planet. The reason for this is quite simple. This place is full of one of the most venomous snakes in the world, Bothrops. Researchers estimate that about 5 snakes per square meter live on the island, and there are several stories of people succumbing to the deadly predators in no time at all. One of these stories recalls a lighthouse keeper who was attacked by the snakes and died. Snake Island's lighthouse has been automated ever since that fatality, and the Brazilian government has prohibited any visitors from setting foot there. Number 6. Baghdad. Bombings, gunfire, and other violent events are common in Iraq, especially in the city of Baghdad. This country has been on the do not travel list for Americans and for most of the world for many years, and Baghdad remains a dangerous place. This is another war-torn country that has been decimated by insurgent and United States military attacks, and is not likely to be safe anytime soon. Since the violence in Baghdad usually consists of unpredictable outbreaks of terrorism, it's not a place that people should visit without a good reason. It is still a war zone, although US troops are preparing to exit the country. Terrorist attacks, including many bombings, do remain common. Baghdad is a city where violence can erupt at any time. It is the most dangerous city in 2019, according to the Global Peace Index. Number 5. Acapulco. Not long ago, this Mexican city was considered a safe and luxurious resort area, and while tourism to Acapulco is still permitted, gang violence and drug-related murder has made this a dangerous area for travelers and those who live there, and the area has seen a huge decline in tourism since 2014. Recent statistics reveal that this city, called Mexico's murder capital, has one of the highest murder rates at 142 per 100,000 people, making it one of the most dangerous places to travel to. People visiting Acapulco are advised not to leave the safety of the resorts where they are staying, as most crime occurs in surrounding areas. Number 4. Sahel. Bordering the famous Sahara Desert of Africa is the region of Sahel. Several decades ago, this region was nowhere close to the word danger, but recent times have converted it to an extremely uninhabitable place. Humans have exploited the area's limited water resources. Instead of making fair use of their resources, they have been very careless exploiting it. This has resulted in a continued large-scale desertification of the land. No form of life can thrive here for long due to the unavoidable risk of drought and famine. For 12 years, between 1972 and 1984, more than 100,000 people had to breathe their last because of the drought. The Sahel is a classic example of the kind of damage people do to themselves in the long run, so that they can experience momentary satisfaction. Number 3. Manaus. Housing around 2 million people, Manaus is a metropolis in Brazil. Though crime is very prevalent here, the conditions and frequencies are not as worse as those of the country's other cities. The greatest dangers of Manaus lie elsewhere. Manaus is situated right in the middle of the dense Amazon rainforest, increasing the levels of danger here. Its location on the bank of the mighty Amazon River magnifies risks to the people inhabiting this area. Home to several deadly creatures, this river could suck the life out of anybody who dares to venture into its waters. Piranhas, anacondas, deadly eels, and many other life-threatening animals live here. But sharing waters with such creatures only goes on to establish Manaus as one of the most dangerous places around the world. The local authorities report over 12 deaths annually from venomous snakes, and at least 20 more from other poisonous animals and creatures. The area is considered so dangerous that even researchers cannot stay for extended periods of time. Number 2. Bermuda Triangle. The infamous Bermuda Triangle. We've all heard of it. One of the most popular and dangerous places around the world. The Bermuda Triangle is a much feared area. It is a very vaguely defined stretch of the Atlantic Ocean, roughly triangulated between Florida, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda. For several years now, the Bermuda Triangle has been famous for many mysterious disappearances of boats, ships, and even airplanes that have flown over it. These disappearances have been justified with many possible reasons, ranging from magnetic force to aliens. Although most of these cases have been given logical and rational explanations, some of them still remain a mystery. Definitely one of the most dangerous places to travel to, the Bermuda Triangle is for those who are built of curiosity and adventure. Number 1. North Korea. Considered to be a totalitarian dictatorship, North Korea is a country in Eastern Asia. It is known to have the worst provisions for human rights. Locals and tourists both can be arrested for matters that those living in democratic countries consider normal. This country can be particularly dangerous for American tourists due to the worsening relations between North Korea and the United States. With only 15 approved haircuts and 3 television channels, North Korea is a place where human feces are used as fertilizer. Also, punishment for crime goes on for 3 generations here. Intimidating, this country is a difficult place to live in and travel to. And that's the wrap on the most 10 dangerous places in the world. Were you planning on visiting any of these? Did we change your mind? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. See you in the next video.